So here we are talking about the next one important feature of OOPS is nothing but inheritance. So what is basically inheritance or why we go for inheritance? Just imagine in our project, in our application, if we need to have two or more than two classes which has got some common properties or common functionalities, rather than writing the code in each more than the two classes, rather than writing the code, we can do the concept of inheritance. So what is basically inheritance? By using inheritance, what is that we are getting? So inheritance is a mechanism in which an OOPS principle in which one object acquires all the properties and behaviors of the parent object, or we are creating a concept from an already existing concept or concepts. Now, why do we need to go for inheritance concept? What is the importance of that? So some common properties and methods. What are properties? Member data or attributes and methods are required by few classes in a project. Hence, they have to be implemented in all those classes. Normally, the common properties are required in multiple classes. You have to write that code, even the functionality also. To avoid code redundancy, duplication of code, a class is developed with the common attributes and methods, and it is used as a base class for the derived classes. So in a project, if two or more than two classes required some common properties and methods, rather than writing in each and every class, we define that in a separate class as a use case. We have a banking project, and we know in a bank, one type of account is savings account, and savings account have got account number, the basic requirements, account number, name of the account holder, balance amount, and rate of interest, maybe 3.5% annually. Then the functionalities are deposit, withdraw, get balance, calculate interest. These are the functionalities of savings account. And the other type of account we have is current account. In a bank, we got current account. That current account have got account number, name, balance. And our bank, in a financial year, there will be some limited number of transactions will allow. For example, 12 transactions may be allowed. But apart from that 12, more than 12, if the transaction is happening, the bank will charge some service amount, service charge they will collect. Suppose the default, the minimum, the number of transactions, the free transaction allowed is 12 in a financial year. But if that customer have done maybe 15 transactions, so how much service charge to be calculated, have to be collected? 15 minus 12. And if it's a $1 or 100 rupees, so that additional transaction, 3 into 100, that much amount to be collected. So deposit, withdraw, get balance, service charge. So when you see these two classes, in both these two classes, account number, name, balance, deposit, withdraw, get balance are common. So what inheritance says is, don't write that. You should not have code redundant, duplication of code. So what is the best one? Create a separate class called account. In this class, we define the account number, name and balance, deposit, withdraw and get balance methods we define, and you create the savings account and current account from the account class. This is what we talk about inheritance. So what is the benefit we are getting? The savings account and current account are the extensions of account. Other than private properties, whatever other than private properties and methods will be inherited to savings account and current account. It's nothing but extensibility. So that no need of having the account number, name, balance, deposit, withdraw, get balance in savings account. The same properties and methods are not required in the current account. Only the additional properties and methods are sufficient in this one. This is what inheritance is. Now, what are the different types? What are the keywords used for inheritance? One is extends and the other one is implements. So implements keyword we will discuss in the coming lessons. Extends and implements. Now class savings account extended from account or current account extended from account. Implements is used with interfaces. In the coming lessons, we'll talk about that. So savings account, current account. So savings account is an account. So it's nothing but is a relationship. Savings account is a child of account, or savings account is an account. Current account is an account. So it's a relationship exists between two objects. The parent class is called as the superclass. So in object-oriented programs, some languages we call it as base class and derived class. The newly created class is derived class. In some programming languages we call it as parent class and subclass. But in Java, the newly created class is called as the child class, and the class from which it is created is superclass. So account is the superclass, savings account is child class. Current account is child class, account. So savings account and current account are child classes of account. The child classes inherit all the members, non-private. If it is private, it is specific to that class only of the parent class. The child class also have their distinctive members. So what are the distinctive members of savings account? It is interest. What method wise? Calculate interest. Current account, number of transactions, service charge, calculate service charge, whatever it is. So that method is specific, distinctive members of the child class. Now what are the different types of inheritance? The different types of inheritance are, one is called as single inheritance. We got class A. From class A, we are creating a new class called B. And when you create an object of B, that object is able to access its own members and also the members of class A. The second one, hierarchical inheritance, class A. From this class A, we are creating multiple child classes B, C, D. That's what hierarchical. The other one, multi-level, A, B, C. B is a child class of class A and class C is a child class of B. When you create an object of C, that object can access its own members of C, that of B and that of A. The next one, multiple inheritance. So we have got two different classes, class A and B. Each class have got its own properties and methods. And from class A and class B, we create a new class called the class C. So as per OOPS, not in Java, as per basically object-oriented programming, class C object can access its own members and also the members of A and B. And we will see, is there any issue with this one also? Then the same way, the combination of hierarchical, multi-level and multiple inheritance is what we call it as hybrid inheritance. Class A, from class A to child classes B and C. What is that inheritance? Hierarchical inheritance. From B and C, we create a new inheritance called, new child class called class D from B and C. What is that? Multiple. And levels are there, level 0 and level 1. Multi-level is happening. So that's what we talk about, multi-level inheritance. This is what hybrid inheritance. So combination of all these three. Now let's think about multiple inheritance in detail. So when you see multiple inheritance in detail, let's say I got a class called A, one simple class A. This class have got a method called void display. One simple example, void display. So this void display have got a line of code, system.out.println of capital A. We are just displaying capital A. This is class A. The same way, one another class we are having, we are just talking about, is there any issue with this multiple inheritance? Class B. This B class contains a method called disp. So this has got a statement, system.out.println. It will display capital B, system.out.println B. Alright. So two independent classes. From these two classes, we want to create a new class C, an extension of A and B. Class C, an extension of A and B. Now, if you say C, I'm creating an object of C. C is the class, object type. Object reference is obj and the object is new C. Created an object. After that, using that object, we call display method. When you call that display method, normally what happens? It will call the display, it will see whether that method is directly available here. No. If it is not there, what it will do? It will check it in the parent class. Yes, it is available in class A. So the output will be capital A. Then obj.disp, calling that disp method, not available directly in class C. So it will check it in the super classes A and B. Disp is available, the output will be B. So the answer is A, B. But just imagine, if this class B contains a method called same method display, A and B, there is no relation at all. So B also contains the same method display, and when you try to access that obj.display, what happens? Directly display is not available in its own class, but display is available in both the parent classes. So now whenever a method is called, it can execute only one method. Now the Java is in a confusion like us. Which display method to be executed? Anyway, both display it cannot execute by default. So which display method should it be executing? Which display method to be executed? So Java will think, do I need to execute display of class A? Or do I need to execute display of class B? So this cannot make a decision. This results in an error, and this type of error is what we call it as ambiguity error. Ambiguity error. So because of a chance of ambiguity error in Java, in the case of inheritance, multiple inheritance, Java will not allow us to create a class from more than one classes. After extends keyword, we can provide only one class. After extends keyword, we can provide only one class name. Why this concept is given? In order to overcome ambiguity error. A class cannot be extended from more than one classes. But then a question comes, does Java supports multiple inheritance? Yes, Java supports multiple inheritance through interfaces. We talk about interfaces in the coming lessons. But if a question comes, does Java supports multiple inheritance? Yes, Java supports multiple inheritance through interfaces. So class, my class, I can make my class implemented from multiple interfaces, inter1 and inter2. My class is a class which is implemented from. For inheritance, two keywords are used. One is extends and the other one is implements. So this class is implemented from. This class is implements, I-M-P-L-E, implemented from inter1 and inter2. Or there is interface. An interface can be created from interface inter3 extends inter1 comma inter2. What is interface and all we'll discuss in the coming lessons. So interface inter3 extended. But in Java, a class can be extended from only one class. This feature is given in order to overcome ambiguity error. Hope you are clear with this one. Happy learning.